What it do, Mud Brothers and Sisters? This is Mud Brothers Podcast, episode number 6. And you got your boy King Chevy.
And your boy Mr. Tiny Man.
And we got a special guest. I mean, real special guest. You know what I'm saying? This is practically where it is, family.
Come on.
We got Voix Boy and Bell.
See?
I messed up when we talked about this.
Hey, we practiced this off camera. It is Voix Bell.
Yeah, I still can't say it.
Voix Bell.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Clean.
Let's go. They cleaned it up. Yeah, man. What it do, cuz?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Man.
Doing good.
Hey, we chilling. We got you here. Finally.
Yes.
You know what I mean? All the way you made the long trip and everything like that.
Where you come from?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, GA.
Yes, ATL.
And for everybody that don't know in the audience, this is my cousin, blood relative, first cousin. She out here doing her thing in Atlanta. So proud of her. So proud.
I appreciate
You know what I mean? So
Thank you.
it's a blessing that you came here to rock out with us.
I appreciate
And
it.
it's a celebration.
Yes.
This is the first family member in here outside of my brother.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna get right on into it, man.
Let's jump in.
Yeah, man. So you made the transition from Brownville to Illinois and back to down south to Atlanta.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, transitioning from Brownsville to Rockford, Illinois actually happened from my mother and her husband at the time. They got married. I was 3 years old, and when they got married, he had a job in Rockford. So I ended up, of course, being that young, you don't really have a choice in the matter. You have to go with the flow. So moved to Rockford. I spent most of my life in Rockford, Illinois, in terms of elementary school, middle school, all the way up until high school. And then I ended up graduating, and I always wanted to go back to the South. So even when I graduated high school, I flew to the University of Memphis. I went to University of Memphis for a semester, and ended up linking up with my son's father. And I ended up, long story short, moving home, getting married, having my son. Getting married, I was married for about a year, but we dated on and off since I was 14 years old. So it's kind of like a high school sweetheart thing.
Damn, 14.
Yeah.
How old was he?
He was 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Time's Up Me Too movement, man.
Yeah.
So
You
I
got
had to
ass.
So moved back, ended up getting married, had my son. After we had our issues and got divorced, it was just me and my son. I started dating someone else. And that relationship definitely, it didn't go so well. It wasn't something I necessarily wanted to be in. And I definitely felt like I had so much more of my life to live. So I ended up deciding to first move to Tennessee, and I moved to Murfreesboro. I stayed in Murfreesboro for about a year. I always was visiting Atlanta while I lived in Murfreesboro. And Atlanta was only like 3.5 hours away. So I was like, forget that. On the weekend after work, I'm packing my bags. I'm going to Atlanta. So long story short, I loved it. I loved Atlanta. It was always something going on. It was always something to do. So, and so much opportunity. I was like, this is where I want to be. So I ended up leaving Murfreesboro, me and my son, and we moved to Atlanta, and I've been rocking with it ever since.
Okay. So with that, man, how you get into the whole thing about being a makeup artist?
I mean, even in Rockford, like, family would ask me, do my hair or do my makeup. I guess I always knew how to make myself look good. So, people would ask me, but I never felt at that time that it was my craft or that it was for me. I didn't think about it like that. So when I finally got to Atlanta, it was like everybody is doing something, whether you're doing makeup, photography. There are people that are image consultants. You might need somebody on your set just to help consult how your visual is going to turn out. It was so many things that people were just open-minded to doing. So I was like, well, where do I fit in at? I didn't think I wanted to do hair. So I was like, what about makeup? Like, maybe I could try that. And Atlanta is definitely saturated, with a lot of makeup artists. So you do have to set yourself apart. So I ended up going to Gwyneth Mosby Makeup Academy. I did that program to basically learn the basics of makeup. And after I finished that, I'm not gonna lie, I was fearful for a short period of time to really jump out there. But I finally was like, look, we done invested this money in the class, and in order to make a profit or make some money back, you're gonna have to just go for it. So even though I took the class, I wasn't quite sure, you know, like, what if I mess up? And I kept comparing myself to other people. I thought everybody was so much better than me. So I finally just stepped out there on faith, and I just been running with it.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
it's been working.
How long you been working with it, cuz? How long you been grinding doing makeup?
Honestly, grinding since school, 2015.
Bro, you been at it for a little minute.
Yeah, 2015. So 3 going on 4 years.
Nah, you like it?
Yes, I love it. I mean, I love it. It's definitely not. It's not stressful. You know, I mean, I don't see it as stressful. You can definitely be in some intense environments.
I just gonna ask you what
But,
that Atlanta sound,
yeah.
that scene look like with
Yeah.
Atlanta makeup. How that go?
I mean, well, for me, there's so many different scenes. There's the fashion show scenes because I do fashion shows. There's the working on set because I work on set for film. There's my normal client that might just want their face done for their photo shoot or for an occasion. There's my homegirls. My homegirls, all of them are doing something. So if I'm doing makeup for them, some of them are artists, some of them are authors, some of them are models. So, I mean, then there's that platform. So I normally, in terms of makeup, it's definitely some different things to dibble and dabble in. It's not all one platform.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, you said Atlanta was like a wealth of talent,
Yeah.
you know, so is it still like that today?
Absolutely. People are actually starting to call Atlanta the Black Hollywood.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah, I
so
hear
many
that.
things to do, you know, and honestly, I talked to somebody else and we were joking because we were like, if you think about it, everybody in Atlanta is going somewhere. Like if you talk to somebody like, what you up to? They're like, oh, I'm about to go to, oh, well, what you doing? Well, I just left from, you know, everybody is like doing something. You know?
Always moving,
Yeah.
on the go.
So, and you can definitely just go. I mean, you can literally just go to a bar. Like I went out to grab some food one day after work, Marlowe's Tavern. Just went out to grab something to eat, and I've never actually been to that Marlowe's Tavern because Marlowe's Tavern, they have multiple chains. So I had never been to that location. Went to that location and just happened to sit at a bar, sat by this Caucasian male, and we just started talking about restaurants and chains, and the conversation ended about makeup. Long story short, this man worked for theater. He knew somebody that he could actually try to connect me with in terms of makeup, helping them with theater. They made costumes for like Dragon Ball Z and Thor. And
Oh, that's my shit.
Oh, that's
That's
it
my
was
shit.
like-
Comic-Con
Yeah,
type
that's
stuff.
my
Like,
shit.
yeah, it was like so much stuff. So it was like, but just from me going to get dinner,
Yeah.
I met somebody that does that much. You know what I mean? So you just honestly never know. So and it's an environment where you don't have to be afraid to ask somebody, hey, what you do? Because you never know who does what that's sitting next to you. So it's normal, you know, for somebody to ask you, well, what is it that you do? Or to just see something in you and ask the question. So I would definitely say it's still that way.
Okay.
That's what's up, man.
Continuing to evolve.
Yeah, so I'm tripping though, dude. Since you're a makeup artist, when you look at a woman that's been beat by whoever, and it's bad.
Wait a minute. What do you mean by beat?
You know they
Describe beat.
were
Time's
here
up.
in Tennessee they be like beat by whoever. It's like beat they face.
Oh, beat their face. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So, you know, but it's bad. It's not good at all. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel a way? You be like, oh, she messed that girl face up, or you see where you could have done it better. You know.
I am non-judgment. Well, okay, I won't lie.
Come
I
on
ain't
now,
gonna
tell
lie
the
to
truth,
people.
man. Come on, tell the truth. Shame the
I
devil.
mean, okay, so I honestly look at makeup as an art. It's just like when you go to Walmart. It's just like when you go to find that painting for your new house. It's all about shopping and finding what you want, what you like.
Yeah.
You know? You're not going to buy every picture for every room because that's not what you want. You know, you might want a Scarface room. So I can't go get the flowers over there because I want the room to be Scarface.
Yeah.
You know, Scarface bad.
True.
You know, so I look at makeup the same way. It's an art, you know, and everybody has a different technique. Everybody is not the same. It might be the same craft, but everybody doesn't apply makeup the same. So if I do see bad makeup, it's just like, oh, dang, like, yeah, you could have blended that a little bit more. But who am I to say, you know? There are times where I've sat next to some of my friends, and I'm not going to necessarily, that's how you do your makeup. That's what works for you. So I'm not going to say, girl, no, put it like this and do it like this and put, you know, that's your thing. You know, that's what you like. Hey.
Yeah, you don't be wanting to just reach over there and be like,
No.
baby, do this right here.
I don't like to step on any toes like that, you know.
Man. What's the biggest mistake of a person doing makeup at home that you think, in your personal opinion?
What's the biggest mistake?
A lot of people watch YouTube tutorials, and they go in. Yeah. So.
They experiment.
Yeah. They be looking like clown face.
The biggest mistake is probably tone. You know, people go, for example, okay, I'll give you an example, a highlighter. A highlighter is when people maybe conceal under their eyes, and then they may go in with a highlighting powder, and it has you brighter under the eyes. So you might watch YouTube and think that because they're using that product in that particular shade, that it works for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for you. You might be able to get that product, but you still need to find the shade that works for you. And even with that highlighter, they're going to have more than one shade. So don't go thinking that just because hers was honeydew, that honeydew is going to work for you. You might need to go with cashew. It just honestly depends. So, I mean, and that's not necessarily the actual color for those particular products. I was just giving an example. But that is probably the biggest mistake that I see.
Yeah.
It's just not the right shade or color for a person.
Man, any tips for these women out here to get their makeup game on point?
Any tips?
I know you don't seen some bad eyeliner or something.
Oh, man.
Looking like a Cruella de Vil.
Bad lashes.
Oh yeah, lashes. The lesser the glue, the better. That's my tip. That's the number one tip. The less glue, the better. I see a lot of that, like a lot of glue, and then you look on top of the eye, and it's like a bunch of glue on top, and it's supposed to look like, it's coming from your eye, so just a little excessive.
Yeah, I see so much. Yeah,
and
it's crazy.
You can always add on. So I'll tell anybody, makeup is cool. You can start light. You don't have to go heavy. Just start with a little something, and work your way up. Because it's you have to learn your products. Like you really have to learn what you're using. And you can't be closed-minded. Like if you find a foundation that doesn't work for you, you might have to add a little light color. You might have to add a dark color. I think sometimes we go and we expect for the product to be right there for us, fit for us, no changes.
So
like
just
it needs
take
to work for
different
me.
shades.
Sometimes that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes you have to be open-minded as well in order to find something that works for you. So I honestly look at makeup like paint now. Like I do makeup, I get it all over. It be on my hands, be on my clothes. Like I wipe my hands on my clothes. It just be like it's like paint to me. It's like art class.
Yeah, you did my sister earlier.
Oh
so. Yeah, so you paint
work.
Hey, I got my youngest daughter in cosmetology school.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
So if you could talk to her or mentor her, what would be some advice that you could give her? Because I'm sure she gonna
an awesome start because she's doing cosmetology, so she's doing hair too.
Hair, nails.
Oh yeah.
Makeup.
She's already rocking it out.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I go on set and I personally just do makeup.
Okay.
But there have been situations where I have been asked to do some hair, so I might have to do some twists or bobby pins. It's been pretty much simple. But the fact that she knows how to do both, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so it also in terms of starting out, like not being afraid to do something for free. Whether you need to find a model to practice, whether you need to go to a homeless shelter and just give back. You know what I mean? Because that's all talent for you, and then you're also exactly, and you're also giving back. Like who at a nursing home wouldn't want to get their hair done? Because who's probably
feel better.
Yeah, you never know when they've gotten their hair done for the last time.
Right.
So she can always do little things like that because it's also perfecting her craft. And then when she is ready for clients, it's like, oh, I already know how to do this. I've been curling Miss Sue hair at the nursing home.
Like when she was in high school, she used to, make a little side money doing her friends' hair for like proms, and doing makeup and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know, just on the side. So it was something she wanted to do, and now she's in school for it.
And I would also tell her to be open in terms of ethnicities, to not just feel like she has to do African American women. You know, learn how to cut a Caucasian person's hair.
Yeah.
You know, learn how to cut somebody Chinese, because that's what I do. And that's what brings you money as well, when you can actually be open and available to everybody.
Gotcha.
You know, and that's what I try to tell myself too as far as makeup. I'm like, every now and then I'm like, okay, I need to find a Caucasian model like now. Because I don't even like doing African Americans all the time, because I know that I can do that. Yeah. I want to challenge myself to do something different. Yeah. And then I want to be marketable to that audience.
Yeah. You become more, you know, needy.
Yeah.
If you can do like a different broad horizon of different faces and shades and stuff. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, and just for her to just be reliable. You know, like if once you start putting yourself out there like, hey, I do hair, stick with that. You know what I mean? Be consistent. And don't let the people down, because then they're going to be looking for you next week. And you're like, oh, I don't do hair no more. And then 2 weeks later, you're going to be doing hair again, because now you need some money. You know, if that's her dream and her passion, to stick with it. And to not let, okay, well, they only want to pay me $25. Well, if they only want to pay you $25, then that's not the clients that you need. And that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, but to not get stuck on that, and to not get stuck on money. Just continue to chase your dreams and chase your passions, because the money's going to come. If you're consistent with what you're doing and you're passionate about it, that's going to come in anyway, you know, and that's going to set you apart, right? You know, just the reliability. And that's what I tell people all the time. Like, I handed a guy my business card one time, and he was like, so you good? And I straight looked at him and I was like, I'm reliable. I will. If you tell me your call time is at 8:30, I'm gonna be there. You know, like a lot of people, it's about, like I've heard so many stories, like photographers that book makeup artists, pay a deposit, and they don't show up. So here this man is at his set with his model with no makeup artist.
Gotcha.
You know, so I tell people, I think that's big. I think that's very big when somebody can be reliable and be there when you call. Yeah. You know, so I tell anybody that be reliable if that's what you do. You know,
be reliable and available.
Wear that, own it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah. Since I butchered it at the beginning of the interview, where the hell you get that name from?
Oh man.
Why?
I ain't even attempt it again. I think I bit my tongue the first time. I fumbled the hell out of it. Where that come from?
So the brand is Voix Belle, and it's actually French.
Yeah, I know. I got the French for it. I just bit my tongue saying it.
Honestly, I was sitting at work one day, I kid you not, and when I finally started tapping into like, man, I want to do makeup, you know, I was just like, well, what could I go by? And it was funny that you said something about beating, because that's what I didn't want. I didn't want anything that said, I beat faces, I beat this, I beat girls, none of that. Simply because, number one, everybody's using it.
Yeah, it's
Number two, what if beat goes out of style and nobody's saying it anymore? Do I have to change my whole brand because nobody's saying that they beat faces? Now they saying they paint faces, so I got to switch to I paint face. It was just too much. And I also had to consider what I would eventually want to see on a product. What do I want to see on the side of a lipstick or a compact that people are going to purchase and that look like it's worth something? So I was literally sitting at work one day, and one of my supervisors I had at the time, I was telling him how I wanted to do makeup, and we were just trying to come up with something together. And I was like, well, I don't want it to be English. So I just started thinking of different words that went with beauty and makeup, and I just started looking those words up in different languages.
Gotcha.
So finally, I came up with Voix Belle, and it means to see or to behold beautiful. So typically, if you see like on my Facebook, it says Voix Belle by Sheraton, then that's to see or to behold beautiful by Sheraton. And that's just across the board on all platforms. Eventually, with the product, because it is French, I want to have some type of product from France. Like, I don't care if it's a grain of salt, a herb, like, I don't care what it is. I want something from France in my product. And I want to be able to see, you know, whether it's VB or Voix Belle on the side of it. So that's why I went with that. And believe it or not, I've actually worn my shirt and seen some people out. And they've been of other ethnicities, but they're like, Voix Belle, is that beautiful? To see or to behold beautiful? I'm like, yeah. They might not say to see or to, but it's like to see beautiful or behold beautiful. Like, they try to put it together. So some people know like what it means.
So you do have your own makeup brand.
Well, when you say makeup brand, do you mean cosmetics, like actual products?
Yeah.
No,
you don't. Okay.
My brand. I just wanted something to go by outside of Sheraton.
Gotcha.
And my name, so I came up with Voibel. So if you were to see me on a flyer, you're gonna see Voibel over my name. If you were to go to my website, you're gonna see Voibel. So it was something. It's something I eventually want on a product, but I don't have a product line at the moment.
Okay. Why not? A lot of work.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, though, I'm still researching. It's
Gotcha.
not even. It's not. It is a lot of work, but it's also a lot of research because there's so many other products out there. So you have to look up other products, ingredients they have in their products, like what ingredient is going to set me apart. Then you have to find a distributor. Then you need to find out how much it costs, to have samples. So it's just, it's in the making, but it's a process.
Okay.
It's a process.
Yeah. Since you're in the city, ATL. What up, Atlanta?
What up?
Yeah. Well, what's some of the biggest stars that you may have worked with?
Some of the biggest stars?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh.
She got to think about this.
Where to start? I'm like, okay. I've worked with Jasmine Burke. She was in Drumline 2.
I never watched that one.
I actually worked on her film with her, with some actors that she had. On that particular set, Young Jock was on it. Lil Scrappy was on it.
Yeah, I seen the pictures.
Gip Goody was on it from Goody Mob. I've worked with Richard Tyson. He was in Kindergarten Cop, and that was the one with, I think, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Two Moon Junction, he was in that. So I've worked with Richard Tyson. I've worked with Trey Chaney. He was in The Wire and Saints and Sinners.
Hold on. What character on The Wire?
Yeah,
He was Poot in The Wire.
Oh, the black guy.
Yes.
The one that was hanging with Bodie.
Okay.
Yeah, he was working at Foot Locker at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge fan of The Wire. Both of them.
Yeah.
Believe.
And there's some things that I've unfortunately missed. I'm praying, that'll come back around. I've gotten asked to do Kim Phil's makeup. I unfortunately didn't get to touch her face. I was actually coming back from Tennessee, I believe, at the time. So I ended up passing that on to another makeup artist that I always call for my backup. So she did it. So there's been a couple things that I've also missed, but prayerfully it'll come back around. But I've definitely been blessed, within the time frame from when I started to this point. I've been blessed with the people I've been able to work with.
That's good.
Who else? I'm trying to think.
That many?
No, but I'm like, who else? But I was gonna say Dorothy Norwood, but her makeup is in the making. She's one of the older gospel singers. She used to sing with Shirley Caesar and Aretha Franklin.
Her name sound familiar.
Yeah, she's a little older. So that was in the making, but I have not got to do her makeup yet either. So it's been a few.
See, that's what's up, man. Yeah. What other movies have your work been featured in?
Well, are you saying that's actually made it to the big screen?
Well, or straight to DVD or big screen, either one.
Movies in general. Well,
it can be a YouTube release at this point because everybody going right to the internet.
I was gonna say, so film is a little bit different because if you do a film on set, sometimes it could be a film that might have, I've done some films and it's been a micro budget. I've done some films and they were trying to put something together to submit it to film festivals to attempt to get a budget. Mm-hmm. And then I have some films Jasmine Burke's or things like mm-hmm. that. I've worked with another director, Robinson Veal, and his series was YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, but in terms of actually all the films that I worked on, just somebody coming back hey, we got that budget, this going to be on Netflix. I have not had that experience yet. So I'm still waiting on that.
It's coming.
I'm still waiting.
It's coming, believe.
For that.
Yeah, for real. I also, follow your Facebook page, of course, and all your socials. And I see you support some different brands. Yeah. What are some of the brands that you support?
So I have to tell you guys about The Yard. The Yard ATL is actually for my pop-up shop. I'm actually an administrator of The Yard. I have two other business partners. One of them is Cedric. His name is Sid. We call him Sid, Cedric. And so he has his own clothing line, House. And then I have my photographer, Danny. So he does, of course, all the visuals and the shooting and the videography and the photography. So we have the yard, and we do pop-up shops where we invite other brands to come out, showcase their business, get vendor spots. So we actually had the first one last year, and it was pretty successful. We're still looking at venues currently, and we're trying to get one put together before 2018 is over, and that'll be the second one. So I represent the yard. I do also represent Live Girls. Live Girls is through ET Live, which is basically a brand just about being lit. You know, you're lit for life, you live for success. Yeah. We promote one another. So I have a group of girls that's like my sisters that I've met. And some of them are also in Live Girls. So we might go out together. But the thing about ET Live is that they're also Ciroc boys. So they are constantly branding Ciroc. And another one that works with ET Live is Roger Bonds. Roger Bonds is also Ciroc boys. He goes out, does different parties, promotes Ciroc as well. But the thing that's awesome about that is Roger Bonds is also used to work with Diddy. So he's very close-knit with Diddy. So it's like, shoot, you get in there with Diddy, you like in the game.
You
out of here.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely in. I have a circle of some great people. Like, I'm not going to lie.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good.
not going to lie. I have some great brands that I work with, and all the brands are constantly pushing forward, like between us putting stuff together for the yard, between Live Girls continuing to grow, more girls joining, and Live Girls is not just Atlanta based. Like, we have Live Girls in Maryland, you know, Baltimore, and we have, like, we're worldwide. So it's not just Atlanta. And same thing for Ciroc, of course. They're not just Atlanta based. So it's a lot of large entities, you know. So those are probably my top three. I'm trying to think. Oh, and I beauty blog writing for A Valid Review, which is a magazine in New York. Mm-hmm. So that's another brand that I do represent as well, and I'm constantly pushing for them. It's a digital magazine you can find online, and go and read the different articles.
Beauty blog?
Yeah, like a beauty blogger. Mm. Yeah, so you can go online, you can flip through the magazine and see any articles that I've written or search for the article. So I represent A Valid Review as well. So I would say those are my. I'm like, shoot, am I leaving anything out?
I seen you. I don't know if it's a clothing line or something fly.
That's House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
how with all of these different personalities. Mm-hmm. How do y'all juggle the ego? Because with success comes envy.
Yeah, but it's crazy because the people that I work with, like, nobody's higher than the other. And it's so crazy because when you get with like-minded people, like, I'm not trying to be above you. I'm trying to help you because you can help me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Let's do this together.
Yeah, because you're going to benefit me.
That's the biggest holdup around this area.
Okay.
You know, all right, say Chevy hit the lottery tomorrow. Mm-hmm. He gets so much hate because he hit the lottery. And then, you know, people come out the woodworks instead of, you know, always being there when he needed something.
Right.
Just like if I hit the lottery, my guy, he ain't got to work no more if he choose to.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it won't be like, I'm going to leave him behind. I feel like it would be like that. Mm-hmm. But, you know, I feel like what y'all do is, you know, like me and his relationship, basically.
Yeah, I told him when he first told me, I'm like, man, y'all got something dope going on.
And we trying.
Yeah, like
it's a process.
I mean,
it's a process, man. People don't know.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, man, it's a lot of woe. But, you know, a lot of people don't be understanding. They be thinking it's easy. Like, no.
Right.
It's work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
For hours of work. But, you know.
A lot of headaches, man.
Like, yeah, just uploading a video on Facebook, I'll be crying because something.
Oh, yeah. He was at work crying last week.
Tell me.
Yeah, for real. With all that, man, you know, what's some of the biggest growing pain at working in a saturated area like Atlanta?
Really just trying to get people to notice you. because once they notice you, you can kind of reel them in. But sometimes you find people that are just loyal. You know, they maybe already have a makeup artist, so they're loyal to that particular person or makeup artist that they've been going to. So, I mean, sometimes it's just difficult, you know, and you don't want to get complacent where you are. And then it can be a growing pain just getting thrown off with the environment that you're in, being in Atlanta. Yeah. You know, so just being able to overcome that and separate the two. You know, like, no, being able to lay it down and say, no, I can't do this because I got to do this, you know.
Gotcha.
But otherwise, I mean, I think anything that you do as an entrepreneur, you're going to experience growing pains, you know.
You got to tell me about it.
Yeah, you definitely going to have some things that you go through, so.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I be crying. I literally cry, man.
People,
people.
And I just, a lot of times he'll call me and be upset, and I just hold the phone and let him vent. Seriously.
Man, listen here, man.
I ain't gonna lie.
They get the edits right and get it out, and you know, it'll be something small in the video that I'll freak out about because I be want perfection. Mm-hmm. You know, this is the brand. You know, this is the brand. You know, so I wear that.
Right.
And I'm proud of this brand. So a lot of people meet me out and be like, "Man, I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing," and I just see like the little spot that wasn't right. That's all I see.
Yeah, we are our worst critic though.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
But when you shooting for the stars, there's nothing wrong with that, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't be so hard on yourself. But if you don't push yourself, you know, who else will? So there's nothing wrong with that.
All right. I got a question.
Oh, no.
I got one too. So.
You know what I'm saying? All right, this one come like, you know what I mean?
You had to sit up.
So, yeah, I mean, it's light work.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you single?
Yes.
Alright. And they're gonna lead me into my question. Alright. So I never been to Atlanta. And I hear it's just a lot of gays in Atlanta. So I'm gonna take it there. So I'm just is it you know, as gay as people say it is?
Yes.
That's why you single. So how women find men? So how do women? I'm gonna tell you what my cousin told me. But I want how do women find men in Atlanta? I'm gonna see if it line up with what my cousin.
How do women find men?
Yeah, straight men.
I'm like, do I be looking for them? I don't know if I really be looking to find them. Like, they just kind of be popping up, like, we never. Woo.
Got you.
Hit me with your best shot. Honestly, I mean, there are times I'll be talking to my homegirl and it's like, look, girl, we finna get dressed and we finna go to this bar. We gonna pick a bar. It ain't gonna be a ratchet bar. You know, we gonna make sure we go to the nice upscale bar. It might be in Buckhead or something. You know, and we just, you know, get dressed and we gonna have a drinks. And honestly, sometimes by the time you sit at the bar, especially if you're a single lady, you might get approached. And that conversation doesn't always. And I'll talk to a guy. And you know, sometimes people that I have dated feel that I should always just jump in and be like, no, I'm with somebody. But I'm just not that type of person because you can't assume that every guy that's saying, hey, how you doing, is trying to say, so what's your number? That's not always the case. So, I mean, just going out, you can pretty much get somebody to converse with you. It's not really difficult with the issue with that. It's finding when you start that conversation, like when finding out what type of person they really are, that's a different story, you know? So,
yeah.
My cousin said that when her and her friend was going to school in Atlanta, that they never seen guys out. So, you know, they would always ask, you know, where the men at? Where the men at? And somebody told them, if you want to find a man, you got to go to the strip clubs in Atlanta. That's where all the straight men are.
Yeah. You can definitely go to the strip club. You can go to the regular club and find a man. You can find a man in the section with the bottles, you know, but again, it's like, okay, cool. I got you in a section with the bottles. You over there with your crew. You got a big entourage. But when you leave the club, who are you? You know? Like, who are you really? Do you really got money or was you just putting in on that bottle? You know? Like, you know, it's all. Sometimes it's a gamble. Like it's a lot going on out there.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Yeah, we went down for her birthday a few years ago.
Oh Lord. Woo.
Lord have mercy.
I heard they were throwing dollar bills at Tars dancing on the bus.
Nah.
Come on, man.
Nah, it'd be none
Just
of that.
because the camera on there, you want to deny it.
Nah, it'd be none of that.
I think was that my 28th? Was that with the party bus?
It's the part. It was with the party bus.
Jesus.
Like,
Nah, did you kill him?
No. Hold on.
Why you kill him?
We ain't talking about the party.
Why
bus.
you kill him?
Yeah. But
why you kill him?
No, hold on. I said you going back to that. But I did see a lot of feminine men, man. Like we was in the bar, Rose Bar, I think it was. It was the Rose Bar.
Yeah.
And it was like round
that Friday.
1 or 2. As the club started to, lean out a little bit, I saw a lot of men just start mingling. So at that time, I was like, yeah, it's time for me to get up out of here, man. This ain't my scene, dog.
See,
like,
you was single and they knew
hold
you
on,
were ready to meet. You ain't killed nobody. You ain't got no body, though. So you enjoy it. You enjoy it.
Ain't nobody make no passes.
See, just because these cameras on, you don't want to tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Hey, my cousin with me the whole time. Nick, speak up for me, dog. Speak up for me. For real.
She don't know what happened when she passed out.
Oh, no, she ain't passed out. We was together. We came together. Man, let me see if I got anything else. Oh, this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we've been, we had bracelets and stuff like that. We want to, get your take on, how has that changed or, affect your life at any point?
Breast cancer has definitely not affected. I mean, it has affected my life personally, but it's been more so for family members. Thank God I haven't, been through anything of that experience, but I've definitely been side by side with family that has had to fight through cancer, of course, and actually multiple types of cancer. So in terms of breast cancer, I definitely have a couple family members that come to mind, but the good news is they're survivors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still here. I had one cousin that experienced it. Her name is Tamika Reed. And then after she experienced it, my cousin Tisha Reed ended up going through it as well. So, being able to see now, though, that they're still up and walking. And, even my cousin Tisha, I'm like, man, her hair is amazing. It's better than what it's even more healthier than what it was before. And, just being able to see my family overcome, it's just amazing. So it has, and that's definitely, it affects the family, because you never want to see a family member hurting or anything like that. So
definitely. Yeah.
So that's probably, as close to home in terms of breast cancer that it's hit for me.
Yeah, man. Definitely, man. That's what's up, man. I think that's all I got. What you got, T?
That's all I got, man. I say the best for last.
This dude,
Woo,
he was
wipe the sweat off.
We ain't go too hard, man. But you are the first female that we have interviewed.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
First one.
So when we post this, you got to share this. All your beauty blog people.
For sure.
What is it? The lit? What?
We got Live Girls.
The Live Girl.
And we have The Yard.
The Yard.
We have A Valid Review.
The Yard is the clothing.
The Yard is the pop-up shops.
Okay.
That's my thing.
Shop. Your guy said.
Yeah, we got Sid and Danny.
Yeah.
And then we have Live Girls, which is with ET Live. And then we also have A Valid Review, which is the magazine.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the 3 things that I'm a part of.
Cause I'm gonna make a special trip down there. We're gonna bring the cameras.
Let go.
We're gonna have a little special spot for you. You know what I'm saying? You family. We're gonna do something different when I come down. I believe it's gonna be something different. I already got stuff in my head because actually I was gonna do this interview down there.
Oh,
but,
wow.
Yeah, but you here. But you know what I'm saying?
I messed that up. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I got some more stuff. I keep some ideas.
Okay.
And
she was calling out some reads and stuff, so I'm keen to some reads. So we'll talk off camera.
Oh yeah, I'm all down through here.
Yeah, we'll talk off camera.
I just live in Atlanta.
Yeah, she got some roots in Tennessee. A lot of them. For real. I also want to say, man, rest in peace to my cousin. You know, I just lost another family member. You know, Heavy, we gonna miss you, bro. I want to definitely say that before I leave this episode.
Yeah. R.I.P. Heavy.
Man, for real.
I seen him last year around the same time.
You did?
Wasn't he at the thing?
I think so. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
he was at the Fall Fest.
Yeah. Because that's where everybody be at. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah. So, man, shouts out, man, to the whole family. Yeah. We finna have us a shot as a celebration. Cause my cousin in here, my family. You know,
and probably my family.
Believe.
Yeah, salute,
man.
Yeah.
All right, cameras. I only kept straight face on because y'all still on.
Woo.
But his face was ugly.
Yeah, I don't drink brown. That was brown. Whoa. I can drink it, but Lord have mercy, go down rough.
All right, we got to cut the cameras off so I can go and make this face.
No, we getting it on camera.
We need to make face.
Before we get out, you want to give your socials?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on all social media platforms. I am on Instagram, which is at Voibel.
Voibel.
Still can't. I just throw the whole
edit that out.
No, don't throw the whole brand away because you can't say it. I'm just saying. He was going to say throw the whole brand away.
Oh, man.
But no, you can find me on Instagram, which is at Voibel. It's VOIRBELLE. Facebook, Voibel by Sheraton. Website, www.voibel.com, VOIRBELLE. So on all social media platforms is Voibel.
And don't forget to check out the beauty blog.
Yes, most definitely.
Yo, man, it's been a pleasure. Oh, yeah, you can check us out on all our platforms, too. All of our brothers.
Look at it at the end of the video. It's always in there. We ain't going to repeat this stuff every time.
Stupid. Man, it's been a pleasure, people. You know what I'm saying? King Chevy.
And your boy, Mr. Tiny Man, in here. And we out.
I don't do no fucking friends. My brothers, we gon' thug it to the end. I keep a shooter, please don't make me sub a man. 200 solid, we gon' split it to a band. My brothers, that's my fucking mud brothers. If I'm with them, then you know they mud brothers. Swear to God, boy, I love my mud brothers. Did it all, I was with my mud brothers. Mud brothers, they're my fucking mud brothers.